No Need for Words, Part 1. Strobes flash across the floor and walls, lasers shoot through the air. The lights glow in an amazing display of color reflecting off of every surface that they could. Through it all, ponies dance. The bass thumps and shakes your body. Your fur feels like it's fizzing, waves of sensations crash over you. You move yourself around to simply feel the beat everywhere that you could. It's a wonderful feeling. Suddenly, the feeling stops. The ponies and lights calm down, and they look up to the one who brings you such wonderful feelings. The white unicorn looks over the crowd through her purple shades. You see the DJ, her blue-streaked mane glistening with sweat. She is obviously enjoying the evening as much as you are. She raised a hoof, and the crowd responds, wildly thumping their own hooves on the floor. Every pony's happy. Everything is good. You sit and close your eyes, waiting for her to cause the bass to wash over you again. This DJ was always your favorite. She knew how it was supposed to feel. Others just couldn't match her flow, her rhythm, her beauty. You had developed a little crush on the DJ, this mare, when you began coming to this club, as silly as it may be. It was the way that she moved. Wild and free, yearning to feel more, she let the beat all run over her. You could see her hair stand on edge when she's up there, while the ponies dance. She understood. You imagine what it would be like to be able to meet her. However, you had no idea what you would say. There really is nothing you could say, sad as it was. You wait patiently for the sensations to take your mind away. Suddenly, your vision goes bright. You open your eyes again, but need to squint. There's a spotlight on you. Every pony's looking at you, and they look annoyed. Their mouths are moving, and you see the DJ lower her hoof, probably using it to point at you before. You spin your head around the scene in confusion. They begin to look more and more irritated. You begin to walk backwards off the dance floor. Some look angry, and some shake their heads. Worst of all, the DJ looks at you with a frown. You feel your cheeks grow hot as you walk over to the bar of the club. The bar cult is cleaning a glass when you sit on a stool at the counter. He looks up, and he knows you. You nod at him, and he puts the glass down and turns away to the bottles. You can feel the beat and rhythm returning, but not as strong as on the dance floor. You'd rather not go back right now. Maybe a drink will just help you forget the embarrassment still burning in your cheeks. The bar cult puts a drink in front of you. It's today's special. You're not picky and don't really care what it is. You just take 5 bits out of your bag and put them on the counter. You have no idea how much this drink actually costs, but the bar cult takes them. If it's too much, he deserves a tip. He's a good pony. The drink seems to glow different colors with the lights in the club. You sip at it. It's bubbly and you let it cover your tongue. A sensation other than the music right now is welcome. You let it slowly slide to the back of your mouth, tingling and burning all the way down your throat. You give a small cough. The drink is strong, and you take another sip. The bar cult goes back to washing his glasses. He would chat with other ponies, but not with you. You know why. It was a frustrating process when you first attempted to do so. It was time-consuming. Time you know the busy bar cult doesn't have. You just stay at the bar with your thoughts, going between the embarrassments, the confusion, and the frustration. You sip at the drink every now and again, just letting it wash over your tongue like you had done with the beat before the incident. Somehow, in your thought process, you remember the way the DJ looked at you. The DJ who always made you feel good. You feel your insides knot up with shame. Your drink was nearly gone. You felt warm and fuzzy. You give a sigh that attracts the bar cult's attention. They raise an eyebrow at you. They were concerned, and you nodded that you were fine. The bar cult points up to a clock in the wall with his hoof. It was already 20 minutes past closing. You wonder how you were able to space out for that long. You nod again and take one last sip of your drink before the bar cult takes the glass. You slide off the stool and try to stand. Your legs still work, albeit they feel a little bit numb. You try to shake the feeling into them. They don't really feel better, but they'll just have to do. You begin to walk out. You take a few steps before you feel something poke at your side. Was that a pony's hoof? You turn to see yourself reflect off a pair of purple shades. It was the DJ of all ponies. The light reflects off of their white fur and blue mane. They do not look happy. Her lips are moving, but You don't really understand. Why would she talk with you? Was it because of earlier? Your ears drop back as she finishes. You can't respond, you just feel your insides twist again. She moves her lips once more, looking angry. You feel like you're shrinking under her gaze. She waits, and you say nothing. You then see the bar call to her. As she turns, he begins to say something. You don't know what he says, but the DJ looks back at you with all malice out of her expression. It's replaced by wonder and disbelief. She turns to the bar cult again and says something. The bar cult takes out a notepad and a pencil. Levitating both with her magic, she begins to write something before turning it to you to see. Her writing's elegant and pleasing to the eye.
Are you really deaf?
You nod. She begins writing again.
What do you come to clubs for?
You gesture for the notepad. She gives it to you and you place it on a nearby table. Taking the pencil as well, you begin to write. It's not as pretty as hers, but it's not bad and communicates what you're trying to say. I like the feel of the music. She looks at you carefully, as if she thinks you're playing a trick on her. Eventually, she takes the pencil again and writes. You begin taking turns with the notepad.
Even if you can't hear it?
Yes. It is still enjoyable.
How so?
You pause as to think of how to explain it. The heavy beat shakes me to my core. The rhythm flows over every part of me. The sensation, it's incredible. You try to think of what else to write. It's difficult to explain. I hope you understand. Before you give it back, you write one last thing. I've seen you move as if you feel it too. She smiles. A wonderful smile. One that lifts you out of the despair of her frown moments ago. She then begins writing.
I do feel it. Every pony does. Although whether or not they realize it is another thing. They all just focus on the noise.
She looks at you for a moment before writing again.
The perfect feeling of the music is what I strive for. It's nice to know one pony appreciates it.
Her writing gets slower near the end. You gesture for the pencil. That's why you're my favorite. She looks and then opens her mouth in a big smile, exhaling sharply and repeatedly. You believe it to be laughter, though you hope she's not laughing at you. She calms down and takes the pencil again.
By the way, sorry about earlier.
You feel a slight twinge of guilt as you remember the incident on the dance floor. Taking your pencil, you decide to ask a question. I'm sorry as well, but why were you pointing at me?
I called every pony for a cheer and saw that you didn't join in. I was asking for a cheer from you, but now I see why you didn't understand. Sorry again.
You nod, thankful for the explanation. She suddenly gets a bright look in her eye and starts writing.
Hey, do you want to help me?
You looked at her with a raised eyebrow before taking the pencil back. With what? She just looks at you with a smirk before writing.
If you're not busy, come by my place tomorrow at 6 p.m. Scratch Record Store on the 5th, 3 blocks down from Sugar Cube Corner.
She tears off the address from the rest of the page and sets it in front of you. With a wave and another smile, she walks back over towards the stage to pack her equipment. You probably shouldn't bother her with more questions if she's busy, so you just walk out of the club with the address and a bubbly feeling of giddiness. Tonight was a good night. You walk down 3 blocks from the bakery towards 5th Street. The store was there. An old 2-story brick building painted white with the sign Scratch Record Store over the front door. A large window displays pieces of musical merchandise along with a sign advertising cassettes, CDs, and as the name would imply, records. As you walk to the door, a sign catches your eye. The store's business hours. It said that they would close at 5 today, but didn't the note tell you to come at 6? You push lightly on the door with a hoof, and it opens. You walk in slowly, a little cautious that ponies might not be welcome here at this time. You then look around and see aisles of racks of music, categorized by media, CDs, tapes, records, and more, categorized by genre, rock, pop, rap, jazz, metal, classical, and many more to list, categorized by bands, alphabetically, none of which you knew, and on the walls were some posters of ponies with instruments, some yelling into microphones. Some posters simply of a band's logo. Some of them even had autographs scribbled on them. The front counter was a glass case with a cash register sitting on top of it. The case contained some cords and pedals and other things you aren't quite sure of, all for various prices. On the wall behind it are a couple guitars, a keyboard, and some record sets in big boxes. As you look around, you notice a flight of old metal stairs leading up to a door. It opens to reveal the DJ, only this time without her shades. She looks at you with her magenta eyes and smiles, walking down the stairs and ducking under a sign that says, "Do not enter," hung across with a chain. She walks over to the door and turns a latch with her hoof to lock it. She motions for you to follow her as she ducks under the sign and walks up to the stairs again. You unhook the chain, move it around, and put the hook back when you reach the stairs. The door at the top opened up into a hallway with 4 doors, 2 on each side. You see the DJ go into the first door on the right. You follow her, and nearly stumble on some wires that lay across the floor. You look and see her give you an apologetic look before picking up a notepad and pencil with her magic. As she writes, you look around. There are 2 big speakers facing the center of the room. Between them is a turntable like the one that she performs with at the club, hooked up to a pair of computer monitors. Shelves of records align one wall, while shelves of CDs align another. A poster of herself is hung over the monitors, and it reads, "Vinyl Scratch, DJ Pwn 3, and depicts her playing on a turntable in front of a crowd with lasers and glow sticks. Vinyl Scratch. Was that her name? Suddenly, she holds the notepad up for you to read.
Welcome to the lab.
She sweeps across the room with a hoof dramatically.
I'm so glad that you decided to help me.
You motion for the notepad. She holds it up with her magic for you to write. You haven't exactly told me what I'm helping you with. Instead of answering, she smiles and puts the notepad down while walking over to the turntable. She puts on some huge headphones that reminds you of the kind construction ponies wear when they use loud tools. You sigh a little inwardly and resume looking around the room. As you let your eyes wander, you feel a wave wash over you, like needles poking into your skin and throbbing. You grimace and double over, but as soon as it had started, it stopped. You look up to the DJ, or Vinyl Scratch, who takes a hoof off the turntable and runs beside you, her eyes filled with worry. She quickly grabs the notepad again.
Are you alright?
You nod and gesture for the pencil. What was that? You feel the pencil being lifted from your mouth.
It was a new beat that I was working on, though maybe I had the speakers set a little too high.
You nod again.
But it's why I asked you here. I've been looking for some pony to help me find the perfect feel for certain songs.
She looks at you with a confident smile before wrapping a foreleg around your shoulder. Her touch is soft and warm.
And who better than a pony who simply enjoys music for how it feels?
She pulls you a bit closer.
Also, you can help me make some new tracks here in the lab. So, what do you say?
Helping her. You felt yourself swelling with excitement, almost like you were about to lift off the ground at any moment. If the wonderful DJ needs your help, you will be there, rain or shine. With a single nod, you agree. I'm not exactly too much of a fan of stories that go way back in the past of like 2012, but there are some exceptions, and this one is really not that bad. Now let's head over to our phenomenal donators. Top donators, Dash of Evergreen, Peter Coulthard, J Tinman, and Darkside. CourierCruz CI, Delta Omega, RuneScythe 9852, Dospo, Ryanny Dragonwolf, Secret Moon, Tal Rasha, The Toilet Snake, Soul Dragon, Cerberus, Starlight Glimmer, Squiddy Boy, David E. Sanchez, Gaki, Trey, Shadow Drake, Joe Piercy, LXF, Rainbow Dash, Teal'c Anderson, TV Killer, and John Becker. Thank you all very much for watching this video, and live life to the fullest.